Hey everyone, welcome to another late night video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a video where we're going to be discussing what's more important, quantity or quality, or essentially more quantity or more quality. I wanted to make this video because I still see people asking the question, what should I focus on, right? What should I focus on? Make better video. See, my head is all messed up. By the way, guys, I've been doing a fast. I'm working on a 5-day fast here. So basically, I'm gonna fast all day tomorrow, and then the day after that, I'll be done with my 5-day fast, and I'll be able to eat. So my head is all jacked up right now. But I'll be making this video because, like I said, getting back to it, I've been getting a lot of comments, people asking me, should I focus on how many designs I make, or should I focus on how the designs look like, my titles, my tags, etc.? And the people that know or watch my content for a long time, they kind of get where I'm coming from with this. They probably already know my answer, but I'm going to kind of show you my answer instead of telling you my answer, and I'll explain. Right now, I'm not going to necessarily be pinpointing what platform, because at the end of the day, the systems of ideology works the same for all platforms. Okay, there's obviously ways that you can control how much designs you create or how many listings you create on each platform. And there's also ways to control your quality of listing, right? Making sure that there's demand, making sure the design looks good or the product is of quality, right? Especially if you're selling on Etsy, for product quality, the tags are on point, a lot of things like that. And there's ways to, make sure that happens. I have videos on that. I'm sure everybody here knows what I'm talking about. So I put here the big five, images of the big five. Of course, you got TeePublic, Zazzle, Society6, Redbubble, and Etsy. Those are my big five right now. In 2021, I gave a lot of effort to these like smaller sites. I don't put too much effort into them. And I'm talking about marketplace sites specifically. I'm not talking about the smaller sites that are not marketplace sites, like website type sites. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about marketplace sites, all right? So let's go ahead and answer this. First, the way we can calculate this, because you guys know I'm a math guy. If something is of more quality, or essentially should it be more quality or more quantity, have you received your first sale? And you guys can calculate this with me. And I'm going to make up a scenario here where you have to first figure out how many designs or listings did you first post, right? Well, if we're talking about Society6, we're talking about Etsy, we're talking about Zazzle, Redbubble, TeePublic, whatever. How many listings did you put up, designs, products, whatever, and how long did it take to get that first sale? So I created a little example here that let's say you got one sale in 2 months. And you only posted 60 designs. So let's say, for example, the first week, you got there, you're really energized, you did 60 designs, okay? After those 60 designs, 60 listings, 60 products, whatever you want to call them, you got one sale in 2 months, right? Let's now do the math. Let's kind of break this down. If you don't add a single design, on average, you're going to get about 6 sales a year. I think we can all agree on that. If you just literally walk away from your account completely, don't touch anything, you're going to get about 6 sales a year. Now, the numbers could vary depending on the platform, because there are some platforms that are more profitable than others, right? There's more traffic than others on certain platforms, but let's just say 6 sales a year. Let's call it even, right? 6 sales a year. If that's the case, right? Let's say you never improve. You don't get any better in terms of quality. Your skills don't improve in titling, in tagging the designs, finding keywords for it. If you're creating on, Redbubble, TeePublic, Zazzle, etc., let's say your design skills don't get better whatsoever. If you're uploading to Etsy, let's say the quality of the product doesn't improve whatsoever. You're just using your natural abilities, and you upload 600 more listings, right? Let's just say that's the case. Now, that's a lot of work for some people, but let's just say that's the case. You upload 600 more. Once again, Redbubble, Etsy, TeePublic, whatever. You do 600 more. If we don't touch the account for a year after uploading those designs, we really have to look at it from a next year standpoint, because let's face it, if it took you 1 year to upload 60 designs, it's going to take you a good part of the whole entire year, sometimes even more, to do those 600 extra listings. Does that make sense? So let's say you upload those extra 600 listings plus the 60 you already had. It's going to take an extra year on top of the year that you're already working on. So really, you only can calculate this 1 year after all the action is completed, right? Because that's how we can calculate success. After the work is fully done, then we wait for the results. You guys heard me say advice all the time on this YouTube channel where I said, even in my goals video for this year, my goals are to work now so I can see my results 2 years down the line, 3 years, 4, 5 years down the line. That's when it matters. It doesn't matter now. It matters down the road, right? There's a lot of people here who probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe they created a design or two, 100 designs, 1,000 designs, and a year down the road, they end up making sales. That's what I'm talking about. So let's just say after all the work is done, being done, takes 2 years to get done. A year after that, finally, then you can calculate the sales. On average, let's just say you got 50 to 140 sales, because that's what the numbers extrapolate out to. 50 to 140 sales for that year. After all the work is done, like I said, a whole complete year after. That's scenario 1. Let's go ahead and make scenario 2 here, for example, where instead of focusing on quantity, because that's exactly what we did in this scenario, let's now focus on quality, right? Where we focus on, okay, I'm strictly going to focus on getting better at the craft, whether it be the titling, the tagging, the art, anything involved, I'm going to focus on it. If you guys are Etsy sellers, some of you might be focused on digital products. Some of you might be doing physical products. Regardless of what it is, you're focused on the craft getting better. For some Etsy people, it might be better at creating systems. It might be figuring out how to ship products out faster to the consumer. Whatever the case may be, I'm just talking about getting better purely at the game, right? If that's the case, where you focus on just purely getting better, let's say through that year of work, you only create 100 more listings, 100 more products. Now, when I say only, I want you guys to realize there's a lot of sellers on Etsy that don't even have 100 products. But there's a ton of people who are teetering on the edge or close to the edge of 100 designs on Redbubble, for example. Society6 has a thing now where they have these plans that is actually going to go into full effect in a few days from now, but where they can have either 10, 100, or 10,000, right? And you guys know me, I already recommended the 10,000 in the Society6 ebook. Different conversation for a different time, but you guys know what I'm talking about for the Society6 people out there. And by the way, I've been grinding on Society6. I'm trying to make a progress report video here soon, but we'll get to that when the time comes. Now, let's just say you get only 20% better. 20% better, right, than your original success level. So you worked hard for a year and you get only 20% better. Now, by the way, guys, the numbers that I'm giving you guys are very conservative. Very, very conservative, okay? So, and the reason why, by the way, why I have to be conservative is when you're not conservative and you give the real numbers that could possibly happen for people who are truly dedicated, people are going to say you're clickbaiting, you're going crazy, you're lying. The reality is you can make a ton of money, but I'm being conservative for, once again, the casuals, the people who are not really completely obsessed with this kind of stuff. So let's just say 20%. You get better, right? Or drastically better. That art, 20% of that art is better. So let's calculate the numbers. You've had 160 designs, right? And you're going to get better in the tags, the titling, the listings. It could be the social media, even including social media promotion. Let's just say all of it. And when I say social media promotion for the Redbubble, Zazzle, Society6, TeePublic, that's where it matters the most. But anyways, let's just say you really focus on that, right? If you do that, we can play the numbers on this. 20% of 160, because remember, you created 60 plus the 100, that equals to 32 designs or listings, right, depending on your Etsy or your marketplaces, but 32 money-making products, roughly. That's roughly the numbers of 160, right? If we whip out the calculator here, and I just take this number, 160, multiply that by 0.20, we're looking at 32, all right? So that's 20%. Now, we're going to give averages as to what it's going to make or what it's going to generate in terms of sales. What you're looking at is this number is incorrect. It's about one sale a day. Let's just say one sale a day. I'm pretty sure I fixed the chart here. Yeah. I don't know why I duplicated this. Here. One sale a day. Let's get rid of this. One sale a day. Okay. One sale a day for these 32 designs. Out of these 32 designs that have been drastically better. So 20% of your portfolio is drastically better. That equates to one sale a day. And now we're ignoring all the other lucky sales that you can get for the other 128 products that you uploaded, whether it be on Etsy, whether it be on TeePublic, whatever. We're ignoring those. So one sale a day off the 32. So that really equates to 365 sales per year, right? So if we did the math on this, right, and we can go back to this here. Let me just go ahead and scroll down. If we did the math on this, in scenario 1, when you focused on quantity, you generate, on estimation, anywhere from 50 to 140 sales, okay? And the reason why, like I said, is because if you're generating, what were the numbers up here? We went over this. The numbers here, 600 designs plus the 60, right? Based on the ratio of one design for 2 months off of 60 designs, you're going to get 50 to 140 sales, right? So scenario 1 presented a case where you're getting anywhere from 50 to 140 sales. Scenario 2, right, is pretty much more than double. You're looking at a situation where you're getting 365 sales. Kind of works out perfectly to work out one sale a year, right? But what if you combine quantity and quality? Now, here's the thing. It's not as simple as just adding the numbers. It's really not, because there's things involved. Let's list out what some of those things are, right? So the 20% is of the 660. Now, remember, we said quality and quantity. So let's just say my quality improvement is 20%, but my quantity is 660. And this is why you guys are about to find out why people are, no offense, unintelligent when they simply say, and they cough the answer up to something as simple as, when they simply say, yeah, work smarter, not harder. This is a complete lie, because people don't know how to work smart until they work hard. And this is why I say it's crucially important to not listen to the noise and the thing that sounds cool on the internet, because there's a lot of, these little sound bites that sound really, really cool to listen to, but they're not the reality. People who are telling you that you don't have to work hard is completely a fallacy. Everything that I've achieved comes from hard, blisteringly hard work, all right? So let's just say you worked on your quantity, you worked on your quality, and that 20% of quality improved from the quantity, which is a total of 660. Now what you're looking at is a total of 122 selling listings or 122 selling designs. Now, let's just assume in this very scenario, let's just say we're doing Redbubble, for example. If you guys are not on Redbubble, let's say you're on Etsy, let's just say you're doing ads on Etsy, whatever the case may be. If you're doing Redbubble, for example, you have a Redbubble favorite automator, which roughly accounts, from what I've been finding, is 30% of growth per year in terms of sales. The reason why I say 30% is because if you ask the company who made the Redbubble favorite automator, which by the way is botsandapps.com, if the people who made this application, which is right here, the Redbubble favorite automator, you go to their page and you read everything about it, they say it's roughly 10% of growth in placings. I believe it's month over month. So 10% of growth in the placement of that listing month over month. So for me, and I've calculated the numbers, roughly 30% of growth per year. The reason why I did this is because I had an account that I only did Redbubble favorites on. I did not using the tool, of course, the automation tool, right? And I made videos on that, so you can check out my catalog of videos on YouTube. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Just type in on my channel, Redbubble favorite automator. If you don't know how to search on my channel, just go to YouTube search, type in autopilot passive income, Redbubble favorite, or something like that. Videos will come up. You could watch any one of them. But anyways, 30% growth per year. Let's just assume that, okay? Social media always accounts for about 5 to 10 times more in sales. So I've said this before, but I'll reiterate. If I am creating a design and I'm selling it, let's just say through Redbubble, through Zazzle, through TeePublic, through Society6, and then I use social media to promote it, even merch by Amazon, by the way, I'm going to get comfortably 10 times more. Once again, I'm being conservative. That's why I wrote 5 to 10 times more. But comfortably, I'm going to get 10 times more sales per month on that design. And for the people that you can think of it this way, you can cut down the amount of time it takes by 10 times to get the sale. I'll give you an example. So if you're uploading a product and normally it would take you 30 days, right, to get a sale on that product, using social media, it can take you 3 days. Now, I'm not talking about a generalized concept of social media, and I'm definitely not talking about the type of social media that you search on YouTube. So if you search on YouTube, how do I promote my Redbubble store on Pinterest? People are doing it wrong. No disrespect, but it's not, let me correct myself. It's not that it's wrong, because it's not wrong. You could do what you want with your life. Nothing is really wrong. You know, God doesn't judge you on how you promote on social media. It's just that it's a slow way of growth. The methods that you're seeing when you search all the other YouTube stuff, they don't recommend the same stuff I recommend. I use certain tools. I use certain processes. I'm definitely not taking random images and just uploading them to Instagram, putting hashtags and hoping that they grow. It doesn't work that way. Not in 2024, not in 2023, and definitely not in 2025. It definitely does not work that way. The algorithms, you have to understand, are designed to cost you money, aka they want you to pay for ads. I don't pay for ads, not for print on demand like Redbubble and stuff like that. I have a system that allows me to grow by engaging with other accounts. It's a software, tools, the whole gamut. I don't want to explain it here because I've made so many videos on this, but it is what it is. Those who want to know will search on the YouTube channel, okay? But 5 to 10 sales, 5 to 10x more on those products. And quantity optimization, let's just say you're optimizing your quality as well, right? Your image, your title, your tags. I'm giving you a scenario here where you're doing everything. You're doing absolutely everything. Now, in my final calculation, right, the first scenario, we had one sale for every 32 designs per day. Now, once again, that's using the social media, that's using the Redbubble favorite automator, that's all this kind of stuff. In the scenario where we add quantity to it, where we created 666 designs, remember, that means our total winning designs are 122. That equates to about 3 to 4 sales a day. So that means, effectively, you multiplied your profitability by 3 to 4 times. Now, some people might say, well, that's a waste of my time. Some people might say, that's amazing. It just depends. Like, you have to look at your account. You have to look at the things that you're doing. And granted, these videos might not help everybody. Actually, I take that back. They're going to help most people. But, you know, it just matters. It just depends on who's going to end up doing it. So, are you willing to do the work to get 3 to 4 times more sales than you're already getting now? If that's the case, and by the way, I gave once again a conservative estimate as to how much people are going to improve per year. Let's say 20%. I can tell you this right here, right now. There are people who took my courses from autopilotpassiveincome.com that have improved over 500% in a year, 600% in a year, and it happens quite easily. I take people from going, some people at least, not everybody, because not everybody works, but if a guy makes $50 a year on Redbubble, takes my course, he could end up making $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. The reason why is, like I said, we have certain tactics, certain things. I'm not promising get rich quick. Everybody here knows you can't, making $5,000 a year is not get rich quick, but regardless, that's not the point. Anyways, 3 to 4 sales a day from 122 designs. Once again, making sure you're doing all of this. All of it. The social media, the Redbubble favorite automator, the optimization, the quantity. You got the 660 plus designs. That equals to 1,000 to 1,460 designs, excluding the Redbubble favorite automator. If you're doing the Redbubble favorite automator at the end of the year, and now we're talking about a full 12-month period. We're not talking about starting in halfway through the year and then hoping it works. We're talking about, and it will work, but it just won't work to the same level. But let's just say, right, you start from month 1 all the way on. That's an extra 3 based on the numbers, because it depends on how many designs you have in your account. It depends on all that stuff. But let's just say you're getting an extra 360 extra sales per year. Now, if you really extrapolate that out, 360, right? This sales per year is less than 1 sale extra a day. right? So it could make up for the days that you only get 3 and you have 4. Now, once again, that's going to take a full year to develop. So this is why I say the work that you're doing today is going to pay you a year, 2 years down the road, because you're working towards a better future. The results are not going to just come immediately. So FYI, if I'm using the Redbubble Favorite Automator and I'm working for a year using it, my designs moved up, let's just say 30%, 40%, 50%, right? I'm going to now reap the financial rewards of that after they finally moved up in the ranking. Does that make sense? I'm not going to reap the rewards the exact same moment or before they move up. They have to move up and then they have to acquire traffic. So let's just say we're doing the numbers plus or minus 100. That could be anywhere from 260 sales extra a year to 460 sales extra a year. And once again, guys, this is estimation through conservative values. You're looking at, right, anywhere from, like I said, 1,095 sales a year, 1,460 plus whatever the 300, let's just say 300, right? That's 1,300, anywhere to 1,700 sales a year and even more. So this is if you're dialed in with an account with 660 designs, all created, all social media, all Redbubble Favorite Automator, all are optimized title tags, etc. Now, I want to also say, right, these are sales. These are not dollars. Profit, you take profit multiplied the number of sales. If you're making $2 for every design or every listing, right, on profit, that's 2 times, let's just say you generate 1,300 sales that year, that's 2,600. Let's say you're making $3.62 or 64 cents. You multiply that times, let's just say, whatever the number is, right? However number of sales. Let's say you got 1095 on the low end. Boom. That's 3,985. You guys are seeing these numbers. They're not get rich quick. They're not blow your mind crazy. They're not any of these. These are very practical, very conservative numbers for somebody who's going all out in all directions. And by the way, only improving 20%. Like I said, there are so many people who I took from making 0 sales to now making sales every single day. Even through these free YouTube videos, there are people doing drastic improvements. I just got an email, literally just today. Maybe I'll make a video on it tomorrow, from somebody basically just sending me a thank you message. Didn't want anything, didn't ask any questions, just saying, hey, thank you for everything you've done. I haven't made any sales before. Now I'm making sales every month. I'm good to go. Literally, I get these messages almost every day. So anyways, if you want to do it, you have the ability to do it, right? Now you guys can hopefully kind of see why both quantity and quality matters. It's not one over the other. People that say, oh, I work smart and not hard, I don't want to say the word, but I mean, not in this game. Quantity matters. Quantity absolutely matters. Quality absolutely matters. And put it this way. If I create 1,000 designs and they're all tagged terribly, they're all hideous, there's no social media marketing, there's no Redbubble Favorite Automated, there's none of that. Guess how many sales I'm going to make? 0, because nobody's going to find my designs. And if I get lucky and somebody finds my designs, nobody's going to buy them. That's firstly. Let's just say we take the opposite scenario where I have the best designs, the most beautiful designs, but I have only 10 of them. How much sales am I going to get there? I'm not going to get that much. I could tell you that for sure. I'm not going to get 100 sales a year, 20 sales a year, or even 70 sales a year, 1,000 sales a year. I'm not going to get any of that. I might, if I'm lucky, with 20 designs on my account, 10 designs on my account that are really nice, maybe a sale a month, because nobody's seeing them, right? So quantity and quality both play parts, and they're both equally as important, and you can't lose one or the other. And an easy way to tell, right, where you're lacking is look at your traffic. This is one of the most important parts. If you have 1,000 designs, look at your traffic. How much visits are you getting a day? Are you getting 500 visits a day, 200 visits a day, or are you getting 15 visits a day? If you're on the low end, that's a problem. That's a very big problem, because that means all that work that you've done is not quality. That means there's no quality there. There's no tags. There's no titles. They're not done properly. Or you might be in an even worse scenario where you've done everything right, but you picked the wrong niche. And that's a big problem too, because there are some people, like I said, that do everything right, but the niche is off. And when the niche is off, that means there's no demand, right? They might create great designs, but if nobody's there to look for them, then what is that going to do? That's a problem. So there's a lot of things that come into play here, guys. And anybody who tells you I work smart and not hard, that's crazy to me, because everything is hard work. And you don't get noticed. And by the way, I just realized I spelled growth here wrong. But you don't get noticed, right, until you work hard. A lot of people say, oh, it's about who you know, not what you know. Well, guess what? You don't get to meet anybody who's special in terms of who you know before you learn things, before you develop yourself, before you aid yourself in your skills, and that's all about what you know. So it always matters, guys, the effort, the hard work you put in. Part of the reason why I'm doing the fasting is just to challenge myself, just to discipline myself, just to go harder in some aspect in life that people don't normally do. And I'm trying to challenge myself in all ways of life. I'm not trying to just get better at just making money, because there's a lot of rich people in the graveyard. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to level up in every game of my life, physically, spiritually, with people, relationships, making money online, all kinds of stuff. So the important thing is obviously a balance. Life takes effort, and this is just one of the perfect examples. Quality and quantity matter. Obviously, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you already know that, but this video is a perfect mathematical representation as to what that actually looks like and what it can reap in terms of results. The difference between both, the amount of sales where both can get you versus the amount of sales one or the other can get you, and it's an exponential difference in return, at least a squared return. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video was informational, beneficial, and I'm getting pretty tired. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.